Are sellers finally throwing in the towel? Demand is going through the roof in Nashville. Contracts are up double digit, but does that mean that prices are going up too? We're up 11.1% in contract volume in single family homes. But I had the question, who is up? Who is buying right here? Who is this? And are they buying new builds? Because my personal thought was that this would be a new build demand and not a existing home demand. But new builds are losing market share for a fourth year in a row. They are losing market share, and existing is absolutely popping. Existing homes, these are resale homes in the single family space, are up 17%. This is a gargantuan number up, and it beats any number we have seen since the interest rate spike in 22. You can see we are now at 2138, a new post-interest rate spike high. And what do we know? Sumner is up 50% in contract volume in single families resales. They are massively up. Wilson up 30% in single family resales. If the existing home sales are up because it's homeowners that are now moving up, they're going to buy another home, this could be an indication that we could continue to see demand for the rest of the year much, much higher. Why is that? Well, because if they're willing to sell their house and they're not moving back to California and they're not moving back to Seattle and they're not moving back to New York, which I don't think they are, but we'll find out soon. If they're not, then chances are we could have double-digit demand increase for the rest of the year. I think that's pretty interesting. Now, I do still think there is a return to office narrative. However, if we look at contract volume in Davidson County, it is up, but it's not up like Wilson and Sumner. Williamson is also up 14% now among existing homes. This is just massive. Contract volume is higher in every single price band across the board this year. I have not seen every single, look at the 2 millions. 2 million range just on fire with a new record, up 43%. This is so high. We need to double check this. So how do you double check it, Ethan? Well, we go to Real Tracks, 132. And what do we see here? 132. Y'all, this is a new record for $2 million plus homes. Absolutely massive demand showing up everywhere. And it showed up very, very quickly. This is just an absolutely massive pop in demand. I don't know what else to say, but in every category, we are seeing demand pop in every single category, but especially the higher up you go, the more it is popping. The $1 million to $2 million popping. The 750 plus popping. 570, a little slower. These are your interest rate sensitive groups. It clearly is a wealth effect happening here. So if contract volume is up, then prices must be going up, right? And that's also false. Just like we showed that $2 million home purchasers are skyrocketing right now, that's going to pull up the median price, but not necessarily show you whether home values are rising or falling. Maybe $2 million homes are getting more attractive because the home values have been falling. I think another way to measure this is actually the number of neighborhoods that are dropping in value versus increasing in value. Here on my Nashville real estate data site, you can see that of the neighborhoods and areas I measure, 545 are dropping in value while only 520 are going up in value. If we look at a neighborhood that has been dropping slightly in value, like the Nations, you can see the Nations, the price per foot has dropped 2.2%. The median is $338 currently. Last year at this time, it might have been $345. Believe it or not, what we are seeing in prices is that they're very, very flat right now. They're very, very flat. Let's look at contract. Contract price is starting to pop and it is making a new high, but this is a very seasonal high and it's no higher than what we saw last year. This is still very, very flat. If we look at price per foot, median contract price per foot, it again is tying with the new high, but again, it's very seasonal. You have the highest contract volume, you have the highest price per foot. I would not say that prices are going up, but they are very stable at the current level for who's buying. That does not mean that neighborhoods can't fall. I see neighborhoods fall all the time. I highlighted one last week, but it got hot so quick this past week. It is shocking. Now let's look at supply ratio. This is just the active to contract ratio. This is the one that's going to show you why it's always better to buy in the fall. As this increases, what it's saying is there's more active listings relative to what's under contract. And as you can see, this, according to the active to contract ratio, is actually the worst time to buy. And so as those contracts start pulling back, and we'll see that, right? I mean, we'll see contracts start slowing down. They really peak most of the time in May, but sometimes in April. But whenever they peak, they'll start trending down for the rest of the year. So once they start trending down, it's a much better environment for buyers going into the fall. This is why it's always better to buy in the fall. It's literally just a simple ratio. You can see it here. When it pops, it's a great time to buy. Here, what we're seeing is we're actually at a tighter market than we were last year. We take the active to contracts. It's absolutely amazing. So if you are planning to buy, what you need to know is that the softness is a supply story, not a demand story. If people say people are cashing out of Nashville, giving up, they're moving out, Nashville's no longer the it city, all of that stuff just simply is not backed up with data. People say that anecdotally and can't explain why. They don't have anything to fall on. And if you do, tell me in the comments. Let's hear it. That being said, we have more active listings, 8.6% more active listings in the single family space than we did last year. We're at 8,700. I told you we could potentially get up to that 10,000 point. I suspect that as we get over 9,000, it's really going to start tapering. I just don't know that people will want to list so competitively, but we'll see. We will see. If they do, that will be interesting. This demand just keeps coming. It's hard for me to think that we'll grow 10% all the way into June and July. We're already seeing a new year-over-year low of 8.6%. It's been 10% plus all year until this week. So much demand this week. It's just really shocking. I'll be honest. This week was a shock seeing that demand, and especially among the existing. These are resale homes. Are they move up buyers? You tell me, what do you see? What do you think? How do you think it's going to play out? And with that, I hope you all have a great rest of the day. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Thanks a lot.